The first night without Michael was unbearable. The silence wasn't he just quiet, it was heavy, pressing. Every creak in the floorboards sounded louder. The shadows felt darker. I didn't sleep. I couldn't tea. I lay in bed, clutching a pillow to my chest, like it could somehow keep me from falling apart. The next morning, the sun poured through the blinds, like it had no idea what had happened. The world kept moving. My neighbors walked their dogs. Kids laughed outside. The barista at the corner cafe smiled at me, like everything was normal, but nothing was normal. I was living in a world that no longer made sense. For the first few days, I avoided everything. I turned off my phone. I didn't answer texts. I didn't even open the curtains. I ordered food and left the bags untouched. I didn't shower. I didn't eat. I didn't cry anymore either. There was nothing left in me. I stared at the walls hour after hour, as if they might answer the questions echoing in my head. How could he do this? Was anything ever real? Was it my fault? And worst of all, why wasn't I enough? I knew I should be reached out to someone, a friend, my sister, someone, but shame is a cruel thing. It isolates you, it whispers in your ear that no one wants to hear your sob story, that you brought this on yourself, that you're the problem. It was a week later when I saw Kyle. I didn't plan it. I was out for the first time trying to breathe real air, trying to remember who I was before all this. I walked into the bookstore near the park, and there he was, Kyle, holding a coffee, browsing through a display table, smiling like he hadn't. He destroyed my life. For a moment, I froze. My chest tightened. My palms started to sweat. Every instinct screamed leave. Walk away, but I didn't. I walked straight up to him. I stood there until he noticed me. He turned, saw me, and his face shifted instantly. Guilt, panic, maybe fear. Emily, don't. My voice was cold, controlled, scarier than screaming. You don't get to say my name. He looked around nervously. Can we talk? Talk, I laughed, sharp and bitter. What exactly do you want to talk about, Kyle? The nights you snuck into my house, the messages you sent my boyfriend, or maybe you want to explain how you smiled in my face. All those years while screwing him behind my back. People were starting to glance over. He shifted uncomfortably. I never meant to hurt you, he whispered. You loved hurting me, don't lie. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you kept doing it again and again. I trusted you, I stepped closer. I hope you two are happy, because you both lost me forever. And then I left. I didn't wait for a reply. I didn't want to hear another excuse, another lie. As I walked out of the store, my knees nearly buckled. My heart was racing. I sat down on a bench outside and finally breathed. For the first time in days, I felt something. Not healing, not closure, but power. I had looked one of my betrayers in the face, and I didn't break that night. I made a decision. I deleted Michael's number. I blocked Kyle. I packed away every photo, every little object that reminded me of the life that was now dead. I lit a candle and sat on the floor with the box of memories. One by one, I said goodbye to the ticket stubs, the Polaroids, the notes we left each other on the fridge. He gave me for our anniversary, and then I cried again, not for him, but for me, for the version of me who believed in forever, for the girl who thought love was enough. She was gone now, but maybe, just maybe, something stronger would rise in her place. Healing is not beautiful. It's not a sunrise. It's not a girl smiling into the wind, rediscovering her joy. It's not a playlist in green juice and bubble baths. It's a war. A quiet, brutal war that happens inside your own mind. And every day I was losing. There's this lie people tell you after heartbreak, that time heals everything, that eventually you'll move on, that one day you will look back and smile. But no one talks about the space in between. The weeks when getting out of bed feels like dragging your bones uphill. The nights when silence screams louder than any fight. The mornings you wake up and forget just for a second, and then it hits you like a truck. He is gone. They're gone, and you're still here alone. I tried therapy. I sat on that soft beige couch while a woman with kind eyes asked me how I felt. I lied. I said I was okay. Then I told the truth. Then I cried so hard. She held a box of tissues in her lap the entire hour. I told her everything, how I stayed too long, how I let love become a leash, how betrayal had rewritten the way I saw the world. She said something I hated at the time. You're not broken. You're grieving. But grief felt too soft, a word for what I was going through. It felt like rot, like something inside me had died and was decaying slowly day by day. I couldn't even listen to music anymore. Every song reminded me of Michael, of us, of him laughing in the kitchen, of his voice humming under his breath, of Sunday mornings with vinyl records spinning in the background. I used to love Sundays. Now they felt like a punch in the chest. Sometimes I thought about reaching out to scream, to beg for a real explanation, to say, why did you throw me away? Was I that easy to forget? But I never did, because deep down, I knew that the person I was screaming for, didn't he exist anymore? Or maybe never did. Instead, I started writing. Not poems, not essays. Just sentences. Fragmented thoughts. Pain scribbled on the backs of receipts and in the notes app on my phone. Today, I smelled his cologne in the elevator and felt my stomach drop. I miss someone who never existed. I want to scream into the ocean until my throat breaks. They weren't beautiful. They weren't even coherent. But they were mine, and for the first time, I started to hear my own voice again, not his echo. I stopped pretending. When people asked if I was okay, I said no. But I'm breathing. That became my motto. Not I'm fine, not I'll be okay. Just I'm breathing. Some days that was all I could promise. Then one night, weeks after he left, I stood in front of the mirror again. Same woman, same reflection, but something was different. The grief was still there. The betrayal still carved deep into my bones. But behind my eyes, I saw a flicker. A spark. Not hope. Not yet, but anger. And anger is cleaner than sorrow. Sharper anger doesn't teabag. It builds. I looked at myself and whispered, he doesn't teague it to ruin the rest of my life. And that was the first brick. The beginning of something, not a comeback, not healing, but construction. Brick by brick, day by day, I started rebuilding. Not for him, not to show him what he lost, but because I refused to be a casualty of someone else's choices. It's been over a year now. Everyone thinks I'm okay. They see the makeup, the neat clothes, the forced smile. They see the job I returned to, the gym membership, the social media posts with iced coffee and ironic captions. They see the shell, not the storm inside it. Because the truth is, I'm not okay. I never was. I don't think I ever will be again. You don't walk through that kind of betrayal and come out whole. You don't lose the two people you loved most, your partner and your best friend, to each other and just move on. No, you survive. Barely. Michael never tried to come back. Not once. I heard through a mutual friend that he moved in with Kyle. They live in a condo downtown. White walls, new furniture, a shared Spotify playlist. Sometimes I wonder if they laugh at the same jokes we did. If they cook together in the same way he and I used to. If they ever talk about me. I hope they do. I hope my name hangs in the air between them like smoke. Something neither of them can cough out. I never forgave them, and I never will. I see Kyle's face sometimes in dreams, in crowds, and strangers who look a little too much like him. And every time I feel the same sick twist in my stomach. It's not just the betrayal. It's the choice. He chose to destroy me, and he did. There are no lessons in this. No silver linings. No empowerment. I didn't he find myself. I didn't he write a best-selling book. I didn't he fall in love with someone better. I learned how to live numb. How to shrink. How to carry the weight of someone else's cowardice. There are still days I look at the door and expect it to open. Not because I want him back, but because part of me still hasn't he accepted that he has really gone. Some losses aren't too loud. They don't explode. They bleed out slowly over years. And this one is still bleeding. I've tried. I've gone on dates. I've sat across from kind men in candlelit restaurants and listened to them talk about their dogs and their childhoods and their plans, but I don't feel anything. I smile. I nod. I finish my wine, and I go home to the silence that's become my second skin. Sometimes when I'm honest with myself, I admit this, they didn't just break my heart. They killed something in me. Not love, not trust. Something deeper. The part that used to believe I was worth staying for. The part that thought loyalty meant something. The part that believed people were good. She is gone now, buried under the rubble of that year, and all that is left is me. A quieter, colder version. I don't hate her. She is the one who survived, but I miss the woman I used to be. The one who laughed without checking the room. The one who reached for people without flinching. The one who loved recklessly, openly, fully. Michael took her with him. Kyle helped bury her in me. I walked the ruins alone. Still breathing, but never whole.